Welcome everyone to a question and answer time, really looking at Life Vision Mentoring, what it is and how I work as well. A question also came up about how do you do what you do? And many people recognize that, I have this passion for transforming lives and being able to do it really quickly. And what I'd like to do in this session is three things. I want to go over exactly who I am and what I do. I want to talk about how Life Vision Mentoring can support you, whether you're here live or listening to the replay. And I want to go over next steps for people. So you say, okay, where do we go from here? What do we do now? And I really want to make sure that anyone who's live, and the advantage of being live, if you have any questions still about Life Vision Mentoring, this is the place to ask. We want to keep it fairly informal, and let's just ask those questions as we need to go. All right, so let's sort of dive in. And I wanted to start with myself because it's actually been now, this year will be 30 years since I started learning kinesiology. And that is a long time when you think about it. And I can remember I did some introductions to kinesiology because I wanted to do a course called Sabotage Clearing and Goal Setting, which was by Malcolm Schaefer. And Malcolm eventually asked myself and two other people in the world to run his programs, which I actually did. I was really honoured, and we ran those programs for a number of years successfully. And then that sort of developed as my work developed, and I recognised more and more it's the emotional stuff that's going on behind it. And the emotional stuff is normally caught up what I refer to as in our light body or in our aura, or in our electromagnetic field. If you're a scientist, it's the same thing. And we have this energy that's caught up in our field when something sort of goes out that we're not comfortable with. It might be grief, it might be some form of stress, whatever it is. And so we have this field around us that sort of is out of alignment. And we just don't quite feel right, and things aren't flowing. And so I created a technique called light body alignment. And many of you have seen me already, like snapping fingers like that. And we often call it clickety click because it's sort of clicking away these blocks. But what we're actually doing is we're putting the energy field of each individual back into alignment. How cool is that? We actually get to re-establish ourselves for who we are. And each one of these clicking processes that we do would have been an hour under traditional kinesiology. So we're going to do 2 or 3 of them today, which might be 2 or 3 hours of actual kinesiology work. In a private session the other day, we did 15 statements in the hour. That's equivalent to 15 hours of clearing. So the bonus that you get is you get to clear a lot of stuff in a really short period of time. And it's a process that is, by the way, teachable. We have a number of people in the call here who have actually learned light body alignment and are really good at doing it, including some of the mentors who are here today as well. I just wanted to start by letting you know where does all this come from. And the light body alignment that we're doing really started because of a need for me to get myself back into alignment, and was working with people. And there was a technique that I was taught where you're actually twisting people around their physical body. And it's sort of like, I don't really want to do that. Like, you got to be careful where you touch. You might hurt someone if they've got a sore shoulder, whatever it is. And so I started experimenting, just working on their etheric field, and found that I actually had better results. That I have not yet had a situation where we've cleared something and the energy of it hasn't stayed cleared. Now, sometimes what happens is people are so invested in their old story and so addicted to their old story, they want to hang on to their old story. And we now have some processes to support you in releasing that even. But in many ways, that's your job to release your old story. That's just an old story, I'm going to move on. Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to stay in the old story? And then what happened is I went around the world, and I had 5 months around the world, literally on very little money, by the way. And I just rang Clark. I can remember going to Mount Shasta, and Spirit said, go to a B&B, and it was like the last of my money. And I was thinking I could go to a caravan park or a trailer park, you call them over here, and just stay somewhere for a night. No, go to an Airbnb. And I went to an Airbnb, and there was a whole family of 4 who all wanted sessions from me. And that actually kept me going for the next week until I got to the next port where I had something organised. And so I literally went around, and as I went around, what was interesting is I had all these people talking to me about vibration and shifting vibration, or shifting our frequency and shifting this and shifting that. And I met these amazing people along the way. And I came home and I realized there's a difference between vibration and frequency. And I worked out that vibration is very much an internal process. What I've been working on had been raising my vibration. I've been meditating every day. I've been connecting to Spirit every day, raising that vibration on the David Hawkins scale, my level of consciousness. And everyone I can see in the room has probably been doing that, been raising their consciousness to a certain level. And that's great. What happens though is there was a second part to the equation, and that was frequency. And until I raised my frequency, nothing in my external world would change. Because frequency had to do with money, relationships, health, and living my life's purpose. And the key way, by the way, to improve your frequency is through gratitude. There's other aspects of clearing emotional scales and things like that we do in Life Vision Mentoring. But gratitude is the number one way to get started. So that's something that you can all do now. And so I came home from this trip and I started an experiment on myself. And I started doing different processes every day to raise not only my vibration, but to raise my frequency. And at this stage, I was still teaching, which I believe, a diploma of accounting, talking about going back 10 years now, and still doing a diploma of accounting 2 mornings a week just to help pay the bills. You know, we've all been in that situation. And I was told by Spirit one day, it's time to leave. It was actually on my birthday. And I argue with Spirit. I don't go, oh yeah, Spirit, I tend to argue. And it's like, no, I can't afford to leave. And I got back straight away, you can't afford to stay here. You have to make a change. And I walked in from that, I resigned the next day. And I'd been doing this work on myself on raising my own vibration and raising my external frequency. And within a week of resigning, I had 8 people sign up and say, we want to do what you're doing. We can see the change that you're making. We can see that life is just flowing for you. We see that things are just happening for you. That you're not reacting to life as much, you're responding to life. That it just flows more. Because people at that stage didn't know what vibration and frequency was. They just saw the difference in who I was. And so we had the very first Life Vision Mentoring program. On Monday, we start the 18th version of Life Vision Mentoring. And I've been really proud of the hundreds of people that this has supported over the last 10 years, of shifting their energy fields so that life becomes different. Right? It's a deliberate process. The first few months, we just clear stuff. Let's clear all those sabotages and the belief systems and the things that are not working. And then we move into how do we actually find this thing which I call the vortex or the flow of life. And how do we stay there? How do we peak and not just drop out of it because we had a bad day, but we come back in and we get to stay in the vortex? That's when life becomes very different. And my life now is just so different to what it was when I first started that program. We set up a year later, we set up the Vision School, which we went for 8 years. And then last year, we've changed the name of the Vision School to Life Vision Mentoring to recognise that it's not just about eyesight and vision, but it's about our life vision. That's what changes. And that includes improving eyesight, includes clearing blocks to money and to health and those other areas, but it's shifting our life vision. That's what the program is about. So what I want to do today is answer any questions that you might have about this program called Life Vision Mentoring. I've got some slides we'll go through really quickly shortly, but I really just want to know what questions, if you want to just raise your hand, and let's just answer any questions that you might have or any experience, if you've done it, that you might have from Life Vision Mentoring. Let's try to get a handle on what is it about and why is it different from all the other courses that are out there. Because I believe this is a very unique program that will change you, not just in the 6 months that the program works, but will change you for life. As I said for myself, the proof for me is, I got to shift from Australia to America, which at one stage I thought was impossible. And 6 months ago, I got engaged. So I'm getting married in 2 months' time. So that's something, again, I didn't think was going to happen a while ago. So any questions that people might have, just raise your hands or any comments. And let's go through and we'll clear some stuff as we do this as well. Anyone like to share anything? Yes, Jeff.
Well, what I did want to say is I've been going through growth type programs financially, mentally, physically for 30 years or so. I've probably spent $750,000 on different seminars with Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, and many others, and had private coaches. And through all those different things that I did, not much of anything ever really changed. Most of us don't change more than 5% our whole life. And that's the people that want to change. In just 4 months with Barry, I was just flabbergasted at how much my frequency and vibration improved and increased. And then all of a sudden, I'm noticing that um, just in some investments with cryptos I've made an extra $125,000 in profits in cryptocurrency just since we started. Um, and then I just moved into a brand new RV. The universe stopped me from buying the previous RV I was going to buy about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting this new RV now that is beautiful. It's better. It's like going from a Honda to a Mercedes RV. And it's all happened since meeting with Barry. I didn't have that kind of stuff happening before.
Oh, look, thanks, Jeff. And what I love about your story is, it's a progression that happens too, isn't it? Like you know,
Correct.
when the RV didn't happen a few weeks ago, I remember you going like, what's going on here? And, my only response to Jeff, which is I'm going to tell you all, was, are you in the vortex? Like, are you doing the work that we've been talking about? And he goes, oh, of course. And as soon as he went back into the vortex, changed.
Right. And it was really crazy because I knew that it wasn't supposed to happen. And I kept, because I'm perseverant and persistent and resilient, I kept trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I would have been $96,000 upside down, negative, compared to what I am now for something I thought I wanted. And I ended up getting something way better.
Great. Thank you
And
for
I did the
sharing.
same thing the other day. I put it into the group that my blood pressure was like 178 over 88 or something like that. And I just closed my eyes. I got in the vortex. Then I got in the sweet spot. Then I got into the center point and stabilized it all. all of this took like less than 2 minutes, and my blood pressure went from 178 to I think 134, and then the diastolic went from 88 to like 78, all within 2 minutes. And then I took my blood pressure medicine, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. As a medical person, you would, yes. All right, well, thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. And I just want people to know that, Jeff's story is not alone, that these are the stories that we get all the time from people who've done this program. And so what I want to do now is just quickly go through the program, and then we'll go through and just, again, any questions that you have, particularly people who may be sitting on the fence, the questions that you might be asking, even if you've done it before, what are the questions that people want to know? Let's get those answered today. And the first thing, I guess, is what is it? So I've got some slides here just to share with you about what this particular program is. So let's have a look at that to start with. All right. So we've got here that Life Vision Mentoring is really a 6-month advanced program. It's not a beginning program by any means. So I'm working on the basis that you know what meditation is. You may be not doing it every day. You know what gratitude is, but you may not be doing it every day. But you get to transform your life, not just in a 6-month period, but I've had people 10 years later have come back and saying, this is still affecting my life now for who I am. And we're going to do that by elevating your inner consciousness, your vibration, and your outer manifestations, which I call frequency. You also get to join a conscious community of visionaries. It's so cool to hang out with these people. And already some of them you're going to be talking with today. You get to discover your light, and you get to share your light with the world. On top of that, you experience this profound growth, and you find out what your potential is so that you can start living it. And the way that we've set this up is there's a process called a glass ceiling breakthrough. It's really an introduction. If people come to me and they're not ready, we put them into glass ceiling breakthrough just to get started. And that is a powerful program in itself. Then we go to Life Vision Mentoring, which is that middle of the line thing where we learn to stay and get into the vortex. And on the David Hawkins scale, we shift from around about 500-600, where people are normally at a high level, to over 1,000. And we shift your frequency into a high conscious frequency, which is above 100% there. And then the final what happens is you get invited into Global Vision Mentoring. And Jeff and all the other people who have just finished Life Vision Mentoring, 100% of them, when it said, I want to go into global, I want to continue this process and live in the vortex, raise my vibration even further, and have the life that I know I'm meant to have. That's simple. What does the program include? Now, each month we get together and we do a group monthly clearing on money, communication, emotional stability. We also do one master life session where we teach you the skills of how to have emotional stability. Or we might teach you the skill of how to stay in the vortex. All right? Or how to live with values that you really want to be living with. And having boundaries is a great thing to learn to have. There's also a monthly personalised session with a personalised matched life vision mentor. And we'll talk with some of them today, but we've got mentors who know how to do exactly what I do, and you get one-on-one every month. And that's something that a lot of courses have thrown out because they say, oh, it takes too much of the program. I see that as being essential, that you get your stuff still cleared. And then fourthly, you get a support and accountability buddy who we match for you. And we've had cases of people going, oh, this person really irritates me, but he's the exact person I need at the moment in my life. And we've had others where they've just simply become the best friends and still are. And I've got people, again, years later, still staying connected with their buddy. A whole lot of bonuses that come with it. And there's bonuses that I don't include here, but they just turn up. But the obvious ones is we do another master session if there's a fifth Monday in the month. So we make sure there's something every week for you. You get an invitation to our annual vision retreat, which will be September, October this year. And that's just for people who have done the life vision mentoring either now or in the past. So you get to hang out with these really cool people. Get a discount in any programs that you want to do. And there's additional resources, books, a whole lot of stuff that we give you during the year as well. The guarantee is if you do all the activities, you don't raise your vibration above 1,000 and your frequency above 100, we will work with you until you do at no extra charge. Now, to date, we've had 100% success rate. Now, I'm really proud of that. And part of that is we bring people in at an advanced level anyway. If you come in and you join and we find out that you're not really advanced, you just thought you were, we would probably give your money back and so maybe do something else or do some other activities to catch up. I want to keep that 100% success rate. Really important for me. We've got testimonials, we've got verbal. We're going to listen to some today as well. But I just want to read the first one from Isabella. I joined Life Vision Mentoring for my personal development. I was yearning for spiritual awareness and growth, being who I wanted to be and doing what I love to do. And she's now doing that, having set up a African cafe in North Carolina. So really amazing thing there. And Susan Drury had Heather, who's one of our coaches, changed her life. So she's just so grateful for the work that I do, the work that Heather does, and that everyone does to support them. Oops, got to go back one. Couple of bonuses I want to throw in there. And the bonuses is the Glass Ceiling Breakthrough Program, the Money Ceiling Breakthrough Program, the Spiritual Ceiling Breakthrough. I want to break through where you're at now. So I'm going to give you all those bonuses free with Life Vision Mentoring. I'm also throwing in my #1 eyesight program because I got out of glasses, Clear Blocks to Better Vision. That looks at physical eyesight and spiritual vision there as well. All right. Call to action now for people to sign up. If you use the code LVM25, there's a $2,000 discount up straight away. And I'll put that back up there at the end if you want to get your camera out, take a photo of that. It's got the bit.ly link. Or if you just go to Life Vision Mentoring in the lifevisionacademy.com, that'll get you there as well. So I just wanted to share that with you before we keep going here today, just so that you've got an overview of what's going on. All right. I'm really open to doing some clearings and some questions. So has anyone got any questions you'd like to know? Like you've done other courses, what's the difference between this and whatever questions you might have. Any questions that people might have, or is that clear? Shady, you got a question? You had something that you want to ask.
Yeah, how did you know?
Oh, sorry. That's just what happens.
All right, perfect. I don't know in which level I am, beginner or advanced or whatever level is, but the reason that Barry I've started to listen to you and be in the meetings was my vision loss.
Yep.
Which is way harder these days for me when I'm on my own and everything. I don't know if I would be a qualified person for that while I'm struggling financially. So what would be the best suggestion?
Okay. We've got a program there called Clear Blocks to Making Money.
Uh-huh.
And you can even go to YouTube. There's a free course in there called Manifest Money in Your Life. And if you go to Life Vision Academy in YouTube, have a look at some of the programs that are there to get you started. All right. Now, my experience, I'm just going to give like #1, you are ready.
Okay.
So let's take that off. You wouldn't be on the call today if you weren't ready. It's simple. All right. So what this is about is, okay, do I have the financial means at the moment to move forward? That's really what you're asking.
And
And
would it be effective for my vision? Because the first goal is to heal my eyes.
okay, I think the two actually go together for you. So for me, I could help improve your eyesight literally in about 10 minutes, do some work and improve your eyesight. What I want to do is improve not only your eyesight and have it stay improved, I want to improve your vision of life as well.
Okay.
And so what is it in life that you're not seeing? And at the end of the day, I've always found it's never actually about the money, it's about prioritizing. What is your priority in life? So I've got a statement for you. I'm going to give you a statement, and again, I'm not saying that this is what to do, etc. I'm just giving you what's coming up. And the statement is, I choose to invest in myself.
I choose to invest in myself.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, your head's shaking, going, no. All right.
Okay.
So can you get that? Like, there's a part of you that's going, I want to move forward. I want to look after my eyes. I've got no money, but I want to move forward, but I've got no money. And this back and forth thing, it just throws you up and down all the time. Right? Now, I know, and we look like doing this as an advanced program for some people at a $20,000 program. So
Okay.
I have no doubt, and I've seen and I've been in $20,000 programs, that this would easily match what we do. All right. We have this down because we recognise the economy has been really tough on people in the last 12 months. And I have it at the lowest price. We've taken it down, 6,000, and then I'll take you another $2,000 off with that code today. So it's down to $4,000. You can even do a payment plan if you have to do it. Like, talk to me, we'll give you a payment plan.
Okay.
So with that, you're going to get all the eyesight stuff with it as well. I will give you as much eyesight programs as you need to improve your eyesight with that.
Okay.
All right, the iPro, they're $500 per program. I'll give you a couple of those if you like. I want to make sure that works for you as well.
Thank you. Okay.
All right,
Thank you very
great
much.
question though. Anyone else? Any other questions or comments that people would like to make? I want to bring one of the mentors on who's here, and Inimi Monimo, because I've got a lot of my mentors here now. Claudia, let's bring you on. Um, what question do you think is mostly asked by you from people thinking about doing life vision mentoring?
I think the question that comes up is a real general because I think that we're talking about the bridge between the esoteric and the metaphysical, and then what's the practical level.
Sure.
And what I would really want to drive home for people is when you work on your vibration, your connection with spirit, source, God, however you see it, then you become really clear on what your next step is.
Yep.
And then when you work on so all of that indecision, should I do this? Should I not do this? Is this the best for me? All of that moves out of the way. So that's the first thing. And then this on a practical level, that's the first thing. And then secondly, this frequency business that we talk about, they're like, what is this stuff? I'm like, what it means is now you become very magnetic on how you start attracting things. So I know, and I know I'm not the only one. When I feel a little constrained with money, I increase my gratitudes and then I start listening to the clearing classes that I've already had with Barry and just have that really amp up my money. So I get really clear on what my next step is and I'm able to attract what I really need. It's not just this airy fairy,
I've got it.
you're a good person business. There's a practical aspect. And so that's, you decide whether that's your next step. And I would say meditate on that and see if you can, see if that's what your deal is.
Perfect. Thank you. And I just want to share sort of share with people. If you want to come off. Oh, there we go. I just want to share with people that this idea of frequency is really an important aspect in my life. And even the other day, we went shopping for a blue couch, and the shop people said, "We don't make blue couches anymore." And then the niece-in-law's mother passed away, and they said to us, "We've got a spare blue couch. Do you want one?" And so that was arriving Saturday morning, and we're like, "Okay, we'd like that. Thank you, universe, for showing gratitude." And I looked at the space it was going to go to, and I said, "You know what? The coffee table doesn't suit it. We need a new coffee table as well." Now, when the couch turned up, a coffee table turned up with it. And we rang them up and we said, "This coffee table's perfect." And she said, "Oh, that was mine. That wasn't even my mother's." She said, "Oh, but I was getting rid of that. You might as well have that as well." And it fits it perfectly, and it was just a fun way to continually show me just how life works and just how fun it is when it does work. So we get these big things like Jeff was talking about before, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, or finding the love of your life like I did this year, to finding the couch and the coffee table that's just right for you. Life is fun. And these things just appear almost out of nowhere. Any questions from people who haven't done Life Vision Mentoring, is curious about doing it? I'd like to hear from some of those. What is it that you would like to know? What interests you, and what sort of stops you at this stage? So let's see if we can answer some of those and maybe clear some of this as well. Anyone else? Okay, I have a tendency of... Sue, what about you? Yes, Susan? How are
Hi
you?
there. So I'm here today because when we were talking last week, you said, if you really want to know more, we need to have a conversation. So I came to hear the conversation.
Okay. What would you like different in your life?
Oh, so many things. I don't know.
It's a good question, isn't it? Like, I want life to be different. Okay, how? Like, the universe is standing there in front of you now saying, what do you want to be different?
What do I want to be different? I want to have a very successful, thriving community
Yep.
that provides lots of income for them, for me, for everybody. So there's plenty to go around, and then some,
And what was the last?
with freedom. I said, and then some, and freedom.
Okay. So the freedom might be to travel, or just the freedom to do what you want to do?
Freedom to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with who you want to do it is always my biggest dream.
All right.
To do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whoever you want.
Okay. And I will preface that by saying, as you know, Nancy and I went around the world for 2 months and maintained our work while we went around the world for 2 months, having amazing time, amazing experiences. And we sort of did everything on Facebook with people. So we sort of enjoyed the connections with other people saying, we're sort of going on this holiday with you as we went around the world. But to have that financial freedom where we can do that, and the opportunities to pop up to allow that to happen. Now, that magic. And a lot of this is about allowing real magic in your life. And I've got a statement for you, Susan, to help you on this.
Okay.
And your statement is, I deserve to have it all.
I deserve to have it all.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great statement, isn't it? Like, we did that. We don't have to do anything else.
Exactly.
Like, I want good health. I want to have the finances. I want to make a difference in people's lives, I want to have a relationship, whatever it is. you know. And a lot of times it feels like we've got to choose. You know, is it my and the standard one that's been around is it my career or is it my relationship? You know, like we tend to a lot of relationships they say, oh, he just does work or he just does a relationship and doesn't work, and there's that one or the other that comes up. Imagine what it would be if you could find a lifestyle that gave you everything.
Exactly.
That's what you're after, really, isn't it?
Exactly.
Let's not muck around and be nice and that. We want the whole thing now. All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
And the key to this and the block to this for you is deserving. That there's
Yeah.
still stuff underneath that says, hang on, I don't really deserve that.
Hmm.
Or people who've got that, what are they? They must be greedy because someone else will miss out if I have everything. And it doesn't work that way. In actual fact, the more I get to have, the more I get to share.
Right.
That's it. So when we allow ourselves to deserve that, then life starts opening up. And the first thing we do, by the way, in the Life Vision Mentoring, in the various months that we go through, the first month is really geared about clearing those old sabotage programs and those old fears that stop us from moving forward. We've got to clear out stuff before we introduce new things in. And then we actually teach you how can I be emotional stable amongst all this change? Because I know you, when there's a change happens, my emotions are the first thing that get triggered. It's like, how am I going to cope? What's happening? What's going on? How do I keep the emotional stability there and actually stay in that high bracket in that emotional scale? And then the final thing is, how do I actually get to help other people? Because at the end of the day, this is what it's about. How do I get to use my gifts to light up the life of someone else? That's what we're doing this for. How do we get my gifts to light up not only myself, but get to make changes in other people? And we get to witness that. How cool is that?
Very.
Yeah. So let's clear this for you. All right, can you say again for me, please? I deserve to have it all.
I deserve to have it all.
Okay, how's that feel?
Better. Better than when I said it the first time.
It is a lot better, and there's a part of you going, yeah, but I want a lot of stuff.
I don't know that I'm thinking that consciously, but
Right,
yes, I do want a lot of stuff. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So recognizing this is stage one of a process. All right, so we're starting that process of clearing and clearing and clearing. All right, well done.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions from anyone else before we check out?
Barry, I just want to comment in that exercise. I really felt there was a significant clearing for me. I've been going through a lot of transitions with my business because I have a couple of verticals that I'm launching this year, and
Yeah.
it's been putting a lot of I guess you could say additional strain on my family relationship with my wife and child. So I wanted to. It's funny because as I saw your Zoom, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, right?
Yeah.
So as you're snapping, we've done this before, but it's such like a reflection back to our previous conversation when we were in Sunrise in Plantation. I immediately let go. It was just such a relief, like a tingling down my vertebrae.
Yeah.
And I tend to go very introspective in these moments, to try to find, I guess you could say, below the surface ways to approach these, breakthroughs. And really feel like this works very well for me personally. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, look, you're welcome. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate that. And that's a great example that when we clear one person, that this work actually works beyond time and space. So not only while clearing Susan, dedicated to clearing that block around Susan, everyone on the who's here live gets cleared. How cool! That's cool in itself. What's even cooler is people listening to the replay. You'll get the same clearing as if you're here live and I was working with you one-on-one. And that happens for the entire Live Vision Mentoring program. So as you can imagine, during the program, we might clear 100 blocks during the actual program. I think we should count them one day, but it'd have to be close to 100 blocks that we get to clear during the live sessions, the 2 live sessions a month, the one-on-one sessions that you do each month. Multiply that by 6. You're going to easily get to over 100 clearings that you get to do. That's got to make a difference in your life. It's got to change it. We do 2 or 3 of these today and it's making a shift. Imagine doing 100 to 200 of these clearings. And there's probably the clear blocks to better vision. I know that there's another 50 clearings just in that you get. And in the other programs, so you're now up to around 200 clearings that you get. It's got to make a change in your life. And someone said to me the other day, they said, we've cleared so many, we've done all the clearings. And I said, well, I do at least 300 clearings myself every year for the last 30 years. And people say, that's where you get to where you are. Yes. I put up my hand and we get these clearings done year after year after year. And let's make a difference in our lives as we need to. All right, so thank you, Colin. Really appreciate you coming on and just really clarifying that we all benefit with each one of these clearings that we do. All right. Anyone else like to comment? Susan, you want another comment?
I have a question.
Yes.
So we just did this clearing and it felt really good.
Yep.
And what locks it in forever, though? It's got to be more that I
Okay.
need to
So
do, right?
certain practice, we teach you some practices to ensure that you stay in that space. Because what happens is we all have that thing, we feel really great, and then something happens, we drop down. That frequency of ours drops down. And so it's not only about raising your frequency, it's about keeping your frequency up and then raising it from there, but not having these big highs and these big lows. Because when we do that, we're all over the place. And that to me is the easiest way of losing the benefit of I deserve to have it all.
Gotcha. Okay. So you just stay in the process.
To stay in the process and find a way to stay in the process. And we've had people who have joined not only our Life Vision program, but we have a program, as I said, afterwards called Global Vision, which is constantly raising and going even further and further and pushing boundaries. Because not only do I want to keep it there, I want to see how far we can go.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Dr. Ingo, how are you?
Hello. I was on another call and then I started to take my emails and then I saw your emails. So I'm a little late, but I came in just before so I didn't really hear the whole thing with Susan, but I felt the difference when you cleared it.
Awesome. Can you just say for me, please, I deserve to have it all?
I deserve to have it all.
Okay, that's actually holding for you, so well done.
I just wanted to tell you that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Great to see you there as well. All right, let's just hear from Jenna, just hear from you as well. And Jenna's one of our mentors who is already making a huge difference in people's lives just with what you're doing. So I want to acknowledge you for this, as well as Claudia and Heather who are here as well. They are making differences in people's lives. Jenna, what would you say to people who, and you would have been in this situation only a few years ago yourself, like, do I do this or don't do this? There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff that works, a lot of stuff that doesn't work. How do I know what to do?
Yeah, well, if you're here, then something drew you here.
Yeah.
And, just to say, when Barry was talking about clearing the blocks, it's like The more blocks that we clear, the more your light of who you are shines through, the more of you really comes through. And we have all these blocks and everything, from our whole life, from our family, from culture, from whatever it is. And as those start to float away, the more of who you really are comes through. And that is where the most empowering feeling is. And what I will say is you just get more of everything, more of who you are, more of what you want, more feelings of well-being, more feelings of abundance, more feelings of gratitude, more feelings of joy. And this program is different in the way it's not about fixing something or working hard at something. It's about elevating and, releasing the energy of old stories. So it's completely different from a lot of programs out there. And I, like Jeff, had done a lot of stuff, but this for me has been life-changing, or else I wouldn't be sitting here. And yeah, I really can't say enough of just the elevated feeling you have in your body every day about life and the passion that is there. And that's for every single one of us. Every single one of us has that. So, yeah.
Thank you. And
Yes.
what I love about people who've done this is the enthusiasm that they have. It. We haven't scripted any of this. It's just people coming on, sharing what their belief in the system is. And so for those people who haven't done it yet, we start the next class next Monday. The commitment is really 1 hour a week. That's your commitment. And there's extra hours if you want to do all the extra bonus programs. You can do that in your own time. But the commitment really is 1 hour a week to change your life. What is that worth? And the final statement I want to do for someone is people who've been wanting to do something and haven't, whether it's this or anything else. And so I'll give you the statement I've come up with. And we're going to complete in about 10 minutes anyway. But the statement is, I choose not to stand still. So does anyone feel like anyone who hasn't done life vision mentoring feels like their life has sort of stood still for a while now? In other words, maybe it's not going even all that bad, but it's just it's just ticking over. You don't get all overexcited. Sue, let's bring you on. Now, Sue, how long have we known each other?
Oh, 20 years at least,
It have to be,
I
wouldn't it?
reckon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, and it's going back in when I think we still just had iPower. That's all it was in those days, wasn't it?
Yep.
And so it's been great to watch each other on this journey. Can you say for me, please, I choose not to stand still?
I choose not to stand still.
Yeah. So what part of your life do you feel like you just stand still?
Oh, I'm just getting a bit of fear in my heart. What is it? I'm standing still. I think it's in getting out there. Yeah, I'm scared to
Oh, be
get out
still.
there with my stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The vibration on the planet last year actually hit 200, which it's not much when we compare to these numbers that we're talking about here, but it's massive in terms of the planet. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this program in the Global Vision is I want people to be ready to be leaders out in the world. Because between now and I believe about 2025 to 2030, depending on who you talk to, there's this massive change that's happening. And I've seen that with measuring the numbers. I've been measuring the vibration on the planet for the last 6,000 years. So it's been a really interesting change. And we're getting some bigger jumps in the last 12 months we've ever had, ever. In actual fact, the vibration of the planet's gone up more in the last 12 months than it has in the last 25 years combined. Like, that's how much difference there is. And so I'm going to say it feels to me like you actually have a responsibility to your higher self to be the best person that you can be.
Yep.
Like you've come here for a reason. You didn't come here to say we've got 7 billion people on the planet. We need a few more people just to take the numbers up. Like you're here for a direct purpose. And I just want you to know that. And I believe that you are here to get yourself out there and to clear the stuff that's stopping you from doing that. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, definitely.
All right, let's clear this last one here for you. I choose not to stand still. It's a good one for everyone, and even those who have been with me for a while. You know, what's the next jump? All right. So I'll get you to say again for me, please. I choose not to stand still.
I choose not to stand still.
Okay. How does that feel?
Feeling more calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, more centered.
Yeah. And that's the feeling we want you to keep. And when you keep that feeling and stay in that space, then that's when the magic can happen. It can't happen while we're going frantic. What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
All right, well done.
Thank you.
All right, what I'm going to do is just put up again for those people who wanted to go forward. I'm just going to share with you again the slide. And it's the last slide we need. All right, so we've got the last slide up and we've got the others there, but it's this factor here that people need to know. And I want people just to make sure that you get this down. There's two things I want you to get down. One is the Life Vision Mentoring. You can actually, you should be able to go to lifevisionmentoring.com and it'll get you there. Or if you go to Life Vision Mentoring in lifevisionacademy.com, that will get you there as well. You can find the courses. Or you can get your phone out and take a picture of that or grab that QR code there. And if you use the code LVM25, today I'm taking $2,000 off that program. That will finish next Monday when the program starts. Okay, this program's going to go up. As I said, we are already working with some companies to make this a $20,000 program, which I believe it is anyway. But I want to give everyone here that opportunity of getting in at this stage. All right, so that information is there for you. All right. I want to finish up here today with everyone here. I want to just thank everyone who's here today. I'm going to stay after we finish the recording. If there's any other questions, comments, people want to book in, ask whatever we can do. What can we do to support you to get you across the line? Just before we do, Nancy, you're there. Are you able to jump on, Nancy? I'd love to just to say hello to you. Yes, I get to.
Hey, everybody.
Nancy, years ago, you did, when we first met, you did Life Vision Mentoring.
I did. I met you right before the pandemic and COVID and all of that, and I was feeling disconnected and scared and uncertain, and I needed a space to raise my vibration to have me be able to function, you know. What ended up happening, I hadn't been in a relationship for 15 years, and now I'm getting married. It just happens to the teacher, but that's not really.
You did lead the
Something that-
program for a few years. So all right.
Yeah. And I just want to say this. I continue to do the practices that keep the vibration and frequency at a high level, and I think that's really key. And staying in this community is what helps have that happen.
Awesome.
For ongoing amazingness in your life. So I hope you'll join us on the journey.
Okay, thanks, Nancy. Appreciate you being there. Looking forward to our journey together, starting officially in 2 months. All right, thank you everyone for being part of today. Hopefully that's answered some of the questions. It might have made it more confusing for you. I'm happy to hang around. We can create a one-on-one with you if you need to. Anyone's listening, we can have a conversation with you. Just let us know, and we can make that happen for you as well. So look, have a great day. Looking forward, as I said, Life Vision Mentoring starts next Monday. So looking forward to having as many of you can there on